going to share with you a discussion I had with an 8-year-old girl. It was so profound and so engaging and educational for me. For me as a parent, as I began talking to her, it made me realize a lot of things. It made me realize, things that I need to do as a parent to my child and how I can help support my child better. So I also thought to share this here on MMW to help my MMW family, especially parents who are raising kids. This will help you better as a parent, and it will help you, keep track of your child's development and how you can help them. So as I engaged in a conversation with this 8-year-old, we got talking, and she said to me, my daddy asked me if I wanted to go to my other auntie, and I said to him, no, I wanted to come to you so I can go to your church, because every time I go to the church of my other auntie, the girls there, they bully me. When she said that, it got my attention, and I paused for a bit. And because I wanted her to keep talking, so I started asking more questions so she could tell me her experience and what she's gone through. So I said to her, okay, they bully you, do they? And she said, yes. And I was like, okay, so what are some of the things they say to you that make you feel like they're bullying you? And she said to me, sometimes they call me a black Barbie doll. And I said, okay, is that the only things they say? And she said, no, they sometimes say mean things to me. They're not, like I'm not beautiful, that I'm too dark and things like that. And I said, oh, that's interesting. And I said to her, the people or the girls who say these mean things to you, are they Africans? And she said, yes, they're Africans. And I said, how old do you think they are? And she said, some of them are maybe 8 years old, 9 years old, and 10 years old. And I said, all right, that's interesting. And I said to her, when they say these mean things to you, do you say anything to them at all? And she said, no, I don't say anything. And I said, right. And I said, have you told your mom or your auntie where you go to the church? And she said, yes, I have, but nobody listening. Sometimes my mom tell me to stick up for myself. And yeah, and I said, okay. And I said to her, next time, if these girls bully you or call you a black Barbie doll, this is what you can say to them. Tell them that a black Barbie doll is beautiful and there is nothing wrong with it. Tell her that you are black and black is beautiful, black is unique, and black is powerful, and you are proud to be black. And everybody wants to be black because black is unique. And I said, do you understand me? She said, yes. And I said, also tell them that the reason why you are bullying me is because you don't like yourself. And because you don't like yourself, you're trying to project that onto me. And also, you're not a good human being for bullying another person. And I said to her, do you understand me? She said, yes. And I said, make sure that you stand up for yourself next time and you say exactly what I'm saying to you and say these words to them. And she said, okay, auntie. So I thought to come at MMW and say a few things to parents. I would like to talk about 3 things. Number one, what are parents teaching the children nowadays? Necessarily, it might not be a parent's fault. I would also like to note that as a parent, you might teach your children all the essential they need to be good human beings. But because kids are very mischievous, they will go out there displaying behaviors that they don't display at home. So I would like to note that. Other than that, as a parent, I'm asking you, what are you teaching your child? What are the good human virtues you are teaching them to make them good human beings? And in saying that, I want to point out to you that as a parent, I feel like you should teach your children these 9 important fruit of the spirit that I'm about to mention. I mean, it's good that you send your children or your child to the best private school ever. It's good that you clothe them very well, that when they go out there, when people see them, they admire them. They say, wow, they look good. It's good that you feed them. It's good that they have shelter over their heads. But other than that, you need to teach them good human virtues that they need to be good human beings as they grow up into children, as they grow up into adults. And some of these I want to bring out to you. Teach your kids about, how to lift up other kids' spirit. Teach them about the fruit of the spirit, which is teach them to be loving to other kids. Teach them to be joyful. Teach them to be peacemakers. Teach them to be peaceful with other kids. Teach them to be kind to other kids. Teach them to be forbearance towards other kids. Teach them to be good towards other kids. Teach them to be fruitful in everything they do. Teach them to be gentle towards other kids, and teach them to have self-control when they are being pushed against the wall. These are the 9 fruits of the spirit that I feel like kids need. Even us as human beings, we need them to grow up as good human beings. These are good essential foundation that you can lay for your kids. So as a parent, are you teaching your children these important human virtues that they need to grow up as kids? Are you teaching them to support other kids? Are you teaching them words that they can use to lift up other kids? What are you teaching your child? And number 2, As a parent, always talk to your child, okay? It doesn't matter where they go. Even when they go to school, they go to church, they go for a sleepover, they go to visit a relative, or they go for a play date. Always talk to your child when they come back home. Talk to them about their experiences. Create an environment where they can talk to you back. Create an environment where they can express themselves. And keep in mind that some kids need a little bit of push to talk. So you ask them about what they went through. You have to ask them about their experiences. Ask them, how was church today? How was school today? What happened today? Talk to them about their experience, and they will be able to talk to you back. As a parent, when you talk to your child, you will be able to pick up places where they're lacking. You'll be able to pick up places where they've been bullied, places where they are being abused, places where they've been taken advantage of. Then you'll be able to help them and support them and give them the essentials that they need to stand up for themselves. But you can't do that if you don't talk to them. Talk to them. It doesn't matter if they go to see your relatives. When they come home, talk to them about the experiences and let them talk to you. And that brings me to point number 3. Empower your children. When you realize, or when you pick up places where they're lacking, places where they've been bullied, empower them. Give them practical examples on how to stand up for themselves. Tell them, if someone bully you, this is what you should do. If someone abuse you, this is what you should do. If someone is taking advantage of you, this is what you should do. Give them the essential elements they need to stand against people who try to crush their spirit, people who try to bring them down, people who try to look down upon them. Give them practical example. Give them words on how to defend themselves, how to protect themselves from bullies and people who are bullying them. But you can only do that as a parent if you talk to your child. So you are able to pick up on places where you can help them. It's good for you to teach your kids to be good human beings, which are the things that I mentioned. But as they go out there being good human beings, as they go out there possessing the good virtues they need to be good people, they will have people who will come against them, people who will try to look down upon them. You also have to teach them how to protect themselves from these people. Because if you don't, it's going to create a lot of developmental delays, developmental issues for your child. It's going to, create a lot of, low self-esteem, a lot of, emotional issues for them, a lot of mental issues for them, a lot of issues where they'll be lacking behind in terms of learning development or in terms of academic development. It makes them have low self-esteem about themselves. But if you teach them these essentials, they will be able to stand up for themselves. So number 1, as a parent, teach your child good virtues. They need to be good human beings. Number 2, talk to them about their experiences and let them talk to you back. And number 3, empower them to stand up for themselves. Empower them to stand up against people who try to bring them down and people who try to bully them.